Putting the nation on notice with the fastest 40-yard dash ever, Xavier is anything but a one-trick Longhorn. Part of the dangerous duo that took Texas to the playoffs, the X-Man pairs blazing speed with sharp routes and soft hands, leaving cornerbacks questioning their life choices. Opinions are going to vary on how effective he can be at the next level due to some size concerns, but it's really easy to fall in love with this guy's game. First and foremost, Xavier isn't just an underwear Olympic hero. The speed is all over the tape too, and demands your attention. Once he's got it, he can use all manner of stops and sharp cuts to get himself open. But first, he's gonna make sure you know just how damn fast he is. Sark gets Xavier on a one-on-one matchup by forcing a loaded box against 12 personnel, then running an RPO with Worthy going long. On the snap, Worthy fires out of his stance with the corner playing bail technique, and he actually puts himself in a good position, but nobody can match this man in a foot race. Seeing one-on-one, Ewers knows where he's going, launching this long for his man to find. Then here against TCU, it's more one-on-one coverage outside, and you know exactly where this is going. Worthy hops and stabs his right foot in the turf to get the free release outside, and any amount of hesitation by a corner means Worthy will beat you by 10 yards. With the safety biting on the play action, it's an easy throw for Ewers, doing a nice job to put this out in front of his man and letting him run under it. And there's no better display of his speed than here against Bama. I'm sorry, I can't show this on YouTube, as the SEC is not a fan of us showing their tape. But as always, you can find the SEC extended version over on patreon.com/thinkingfootball. With the ability to take the top off any defense, this opens up other areas of the field to attack, and Worthy is lethal in the intermediary. Sark weaponized this by sending him on plenty of deep curls and breakers, aiming to attack the backing off secondary. Motioning into the formation, Worthy times his release with the snap with Tyreek-level precision to get a running start. Xavier shows a veteran understanding to attack the outside shoulder with a head nod while offering a quick shove, then break down in 5 fluid steps, sending his man spinning away, creating 5 yards of separation. The speed and stops mean even when you get backed up far behind the sticks, you have a player who can create space. Worthy sells the go off the play action, forcing the corner to bail, scared of getting beat deep on 3rd and forever. And a sharp slam on the brakes by number 1 has him sitting in a wide open window. Against Kansas, he's at the bottom of your screen running a deep out. With the corner playing outside leverage, Worthy will bend the stem inside to create more space for the out, then sinks his hips down low and cuts fast on the speed turn, leaving the cut with the same momentum he entered it with, creating a wide open throw. Not satisfied with just the catch, Xavier drives all 165 pounds of his at the corner's chest, trying to get every yard possible. With cushions created, Worthy was also adept at working underneath. Being such a vertical threat, the quick hitch was almost always open for him, attacking corners in bail technique for easy yards. Working the slant route on this RPO, Xavier sets his man up with the stutter step, getting high onto his toes to sell the fade before darting back inside. The corner gets his feet stuck in mud, but Ewers is slow on the throw, forcing a strong contested catch to pull it in. And here against West Virginia, this is filthy work. He's firing out of his stance and up the stem fast, then plants his outside leg hard to sell the post, taking 3 steps to get his man's hips to open before sinking his hips and slamming his inside foot in the turf, pivoting back outside for some major separation. The ball's on time, and this is a good watch into the basket. Getting open is only one half the receiver's equation, and you've got to have the pause to pull the ball in. The X-Man displays soft hands under pressure and a great ability to catch away from his body, even in heavy traffic. Running a slant on one of the Longhorns' endless RPOs, he's strong away from his body and through the hit. Xavier hops off the line and, seeing no one inside, just drifts into the space. It ain't the crispest, but it's effective against the press. He's stretching out to bring in the quick ball, but then immediately braces for impact with the safety coming to lay the boomstick. With some erratic QB play in the last few years in Austin, Worthy has had to show a nice ability to catch balls off their desired path. This ball's out fast and coming high on the hitch route, something receivers hate catching with their ribs exposed. But Xavier strengths it and holds the ball with a vice grip so the DB can't play it. And here it is again on the quick curl. He's extending to cushion this in, then hits a nice spin to turn for extra yards. Going long this time, here's the soft hands displayed on the deep route. Operating from the slot and 5 wide, he's got press coverage to deal with. Xavier slow plays this one and gives a shimmy to allow Jaden Blue to set up the rub route. However, it's to no avail and the coverage remains tight. Despite this, Worthy always has his trick of just running by you, tracking the ball down the sideline, displaying soft, late hands. This speed obviously makes him an incredible threat with the ball in his hands, and here it's his acceleration and smooth moves that'll really have you hollering. Against Oklahoma State, Worthy has you doing just that. This is a dangerous pass into the flat with the ball behind him, but once he gets it, the decision looks great. Once secured, the burners are on, beating the nickel to the sideline, picking up a block, then cutting back inside to leave 2 more bamboozled. A shoestring tackle stops this from being 6, but it's a fantastic job to turn 5 into 55. His acceleration is elite, even from a standing start. Running the smoke route here, Ewers finds him when the corners back off to cover Mitchell, and he looks pretty trapped. But in one cut, he reverses direction, stiff-arming a tackle attempt, and just zooming around everybody for the first. Getting the ball in the swing screen, he's got the burst to get around both defenders despite the failed block. And then, with the safety stood in his way, tries to go straight through his chest, laying the hit stick for the score. The refs ruled he stepped out on replay, but it don't make this rep any worse. Against Baylor, he's running a 5-step post against some soft-ass coverage. This is just way too much space to give him, and it's an easy pitch and catch. But Xavier is never satisfied with just the first, turning upfield and taking on the safety, lowering his shoulder through contact and diving for the score. And despite stepping out here against TCU, this is a nice route and catch, having to get high to play the offline ball, and then with the gap, Worthy will just take the F off down the sideline. It's hard to quantify, but Worthy has that it factor, that intrinsic quality that you want on your team because he'll do anything to win. If you ask him to block, he'll do it. If you ask him to go deep, he'll do that. If you ask him to run the middle and take a hit, he will. He's max effort on every play. Worthy shows real good effort in his blocking. While not always the best technique or power, he is both willing and able. Watch him engage and pop the corner here, trying to drive him despite clearly being the lighter man. Here it is again on the push pass, showing toughness to attack his man and seal him out. And you can see he's losing the weight battle, but the effort never stops. And here's a true max effort play. Running a go route at the top of your screen, Worthy dusts the one-on-one coverage for what should be another huge pickup. However, the ball is late and horrifically underthrown, allowing the center field to run under it for the first out of the innings. The corner plays heads-up ball to mob Xavier and take him out the play for the quick tackle. But Worthy never gives up on the play. He's going to get off the ground at the 21 and hunt the safety all the way back downfield, max effort the whole play, eventually catching up to him at the 41, where another hustling teammate punches the ball out. Worthy's effort is rewarded, being in the perfect spot to jump on the fumble recovery. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a man who wants to win. And he's even got an arm on him. Against West Virginia, Sark dials up a beautiful double pass to hit the tight end on the corner. The near side safety bites as if it's a screen, but Xavier is showing us his audition for QB1, throwing a nicer ball to Jatavion Sanders than Ewers ever did. Hey, just telling the truth. Then once again, they call it against Baylor. It's a bit wobblier this time, but it's out in front and puts them inside the 10. Now, despite the highlights and terrific effort, I do have some concerns about Worthy's game. Firstly, he's often too fast for his own feet. When he runs routes, he's prone to taking way too many steps to get in and out of cuts, often carrying too much speed on the stem, requiring extra steps to direct his momentum. Too many guys are focused on going 100 miles per hour every step of the route, and he's got to do a better job of pacing his speed to set up the route. He needs to do a better job about getting in and out of his curls faster because there are often way too many footsteps and wasted movement. NFL corners pounce on this kind of stuff. And here, it even happens on a fade, not able to create separation early, taking way too many steps to try and lose his man on the red zone fade. There's also some concerns around his hands. When the ball is on him, he has a tendency to body catch far too often for someone who's good at extending. and this caused a fair few bobbles that would have been incompletions at the pro level. Because of his speed and the nature of the spread out college game, he was able to get away with these, having big separation early, but it will be much different at the next level. And body catching has limited him in picking up yak yardage. If he extends his arms to catch this and doesn't bobble it, he's got a chance for the first and maybe a lot more. I think certain teams and scouts will also have a problem with his lightweight and small frame. To me, the film puts those questions to rest as he plays far bigger than his measurables. But it wouldn't hurt for him to pack on a little more muscle for blocking's sake. And the final note is he's gonna need a coordinator who knows how to use a gadget speedster. Sark definitely did, but there's plenty of offensive coordinators in the NFL who would waste this guy by just sending him on 9 routes all day long. Please, football gods, do not let that be the case. The fastest man in the draft is a truly electric one, albeit with some question marks. In the right scheme, we could be talking about the next Tyreek Hill, something every offense is trying to find. However, fail to fill the holes in his game and pair him with a bad offensive coordinator, and we could be seeing another John Ross. With his highlight reel, exceptional effort, and pure raw speed, I expect at least one GM to fall in love with him and call his name early on day one.